Alright, what's up everybody? I don't have a lot of time to record, so I'm recording a D&D video while recording a Skyrim live stream, while playing Skyrim and exercising all at the same time. Because that's how I roll. Anyway, they just dropped a new 1D&D document. I actually haven't downloaded it yet. I've only seen other people's reactions to it and the Jeremy Crowford interview. But I do want to bring up two potential problems I see coming up with what's in this document, and it's not getting attacked by wolves. So two potential problems. One is kind of facetious, but is interesting, and the other one is like legit. What is going on? Oh my gosh, cultists! Ruining my D&D video, cultists. Hate these guys. Anyway, one problem is they changed the name of race to species, which isn't too much of an issue, except that they have explicit half-race things in the first playtest. Now, the term species, if you're being scientific, implies, and this is the facetious one, by the way, the term species implies unable to produce offspring capable of reproducing. So, in effect, by changing the name to species, that half-elf bard is now sterile, which might actually be more useful for a half-elf bard, to be honest with you. But, yeah, half-race characters would be sterile. So that's a facetious thing. I get why they changed it. The main problem people do have with it is that species sounds really sci-fi. In fact, species is usually used in sci-fi games to denote what race denoted in D&D. D&D is one of the last games to continue to use the term race, but that's because... Is there really any good fantasy equivalent? I wasn't even facing the right direction. Alright, is there really any good fantasy equivalent to race? Like, or fantasy equivalent to species? Like, what is to fantasy what species is to sci-fi? Like, I don't know. But until we find the answer to that, I guess peoples, plural, but that would be weird, like having peoples on your character sheet. Like people's membership or something, maybe, because I'm a member of the human peoples, or... Yeah, but... I don't know. Like, I get why they're doing it. Like, don't get me wrong, and I don't have really a strong opinion either way. That was the facetious one. The one that is an issue that I want to talk about is... Oh my gosh. Alright, let's see if I'm running straight still. Yes! The one that is an issue that I do want to talk about is good old-fashioned... What is happening with classes that used to get their class thing, their class cookie, their subclass, at level 3, or sorry, not on level 1 or 2, that now get it at level 3, because they've decided everyone's getting it at level 3. Now, I saw the Jeremy Crowford interview, and I get his reasoning. 1, it's more consistent. 2, is that the cultist's head from earlier? That's insane. That is one rolly head. I'm gonna pick that up, if I can find it. Anyway, so you get consistency. Did the head just disappear? Oh my gosh, alright. Well, that's weird. One is consistency. The two issues that he noticed is that it's a barrier to entry for new players, because you have all these decisions to make at first level, which I'll get into why that's kind of part of the point-ish from a different perspective than game mechanics. I'll get there. And the other reason... Oh my gosh. This ambush is back? I run down here all the time, and now the ambush is back. Ay, ay, ay. Of course the ambush is back while I'm trying to do a D&D video. The other reason that he mentioned was multi-classing, which has always been kind of cheesy to me anyway. Very few people multi-class because they've got good reason to multi-class. Most people multi-class because they want to use their charisma bonus to attack with their Paladin Smite. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that they're doing it for reasons that make sense for their character, so I don't really care about multiclassing. But the idea is that you don't get the cool benefits like the Life Cleric thing for 1 level dip in Cleric. Because Druids would 1 level dip in Cleric to cheese Goodberry, which now it would have to be a 3 level dip, and it won't work with Goodberry unless you eat the good berries, unless everybody's eating the good berry on the same round that you cast the spell. Because now it's specifically on the turn. No, it's the turn you cast the spell. So unless they all held action to, like, chomp down on a berry that you hand them, that's not going to happen. So, yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, they've totally defeated that little bit of cheesiness. So there's that. If that was one of your favorite tactics, they're getting rid of that in 1D&D. But the problem I have with it, which I had a problem with the Cleric, but it's actually not that big of a problem with the Cleric. The problem is actually more with some of the arcane classes, which I'll get into, is the reason you picked your domain at first level is because Clerics get their spells from their god, right? Your deity, which is a choice that you know, is giving you your spells. And if you don't have a deity chosen yet, like, oh yeah, I don't know, I'm just kind of, like, I wouldn't call myself religious, but I'm spiritual. Like, that doesn't work for a Cleric. Like, I don't know. But I saw what Jeremy Crowford did with the Cleric, and it's actually really cool. I like it. I think it works. Because here's the thing, you're gonna pick your date. You would, in all likelihood, pick a deity at first level, but you don't pick your domain yet. So I'm gonna use Lathander as an example. If you're a Cleric of Lathander, you've pretty much limited yourself to either Life or Sun by the time you hit 3rd level, but, like, you've played a couple sessions, probably 2, of the game. You kind of have an idea where the character's going. You have an idea where you fit into the party. You know which one to pick, so it's pretty cool that way. All in all, I'm kind of with them on that. It works. The problem, however, is that it's a design philosophy that's going to have an effect on some other classes. Namely, Warlock and Sorcerer. Because, like, well, I'm a Priest of Lathander, I just haven't decided if I'm the Undead Smasher or the People Healer. That's one thing. Think Lathander's like, oh, you can go either way, it's cool with me. But, like, you can't be like, I have magic, why? Well, I don't know. Maybe I have Draconic ancestry, maybe weird things happen around me. I have no idea until, you know, I graduate college. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? Like, it doesn't make sense that you wouldn't know where your magic comes from. Especially true for the Warlock. If you don't get your patron at first level, that's an issue. However, what they're probably going to do is put all of the cool stuff, like the Charisma, the Blade, and all that, not on patron, but on, what do you call it? On the, like, chain versus pact, chain versus book versus, I can't remember the one for weapon, but you get that choice later on in level, and I think that's where they're going to put it, because, you know, that would make sense. So that would work. But yeah, just having no idea of who your patron is. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm shopping around. I mean, I've been talking to Asmodeus, Cthulhu made me an offer, Queen Mab's got a pretty good dental plan. I don't know which one I'm going to pick yet. Like, that's not how being a Warlock should or does work. No, not how being a Warlock works. Sorry, it's not how being a Warlock works. Stop it. So yeah, so that'll be interesting to see what they do there. Cleric they pretty much handled, and I think choosing your god early is one thing. Choosing your domain, it's just a subset. It's a lot like they have this, the second level ability, they have these jobs now. So they moved weapon proficiency versus extra skills versus extra magic off of your domain and into just the second level choice you make. Which is cool. You know, you can be a defender and get armor proficiency in a weapon, or martial weapons, or you can be a scholar and get some skills, or you can be a thaumaturge, get an extra cantrip. Like, it's cool. I think that's gonna work. I think it's gonna work just fine. But you know, the issue comes down when you're discussing like, yeah. So yeah, for Cleric it works fine. Sorry, I'm playing Skyrim and running around. But the problem's going to be with Warlock. I don't know how they're going to handle that unless Patron gives you very little and everything comes from a third level subclass choice that you make. But that's going to have to be the way it works. All right. Anyway, I'm half out of breath. I need to get more steps in. So I'm going to go and finish my game of Skyrim here. Meet me on the live stream if you want to see more of the Skyrim stuff, if you want to see more of the D&D stuff. As I mentioned in my, what do you call it? Here, I'll run a little bit while I'm talking. I've got more to say, and it seems. I'm going to be doing a response video to Shadiversity at some point, where I talk about how I would fight monsters in D&D with real medieval weapons and tactics. He's using 3rd ed, so I'm going to talk about it from a 5th ed perspective, explain how the rules should work, and how what he's trying to do could or should work in-game. So sometimes it's what he's trying to do makes sense, and that's in the game mechanics already, and sometimes what he's trying to do doesn't make sense, but we can make it make sense with some simple stuff, like as a DM, how would you make that work? Alright, well anyway, now I'm going to say like and subscribe, check out some of my other D&D videos for when I'm actually standing in... What the heck? Something's attacking me and I don't even know what. Check my other D&D videos. If you want to, like... What do you call it? Here, I'm going to pause. This is getting ridiculous. I think I am paused. Great. Yeah, check my other D&D videos if you want to see what I actually do, and like and subscribe. Alright, for those of you here for the live stream, I'm going to go back to just playing live stream now. If this is the D&D video you're watching, peace out.